Falconer TRX, I believe, has set us up with our next topic here. Did you notice any questionable calls?
This is a batting practice fastball. I love it. Let's hit a line drive. So there was uncalled intentional grounding against Cade Klubnik. That was 2 plays before the first touchdown to Briningstool. And the referee said, "Oh, he's outside of the pocket." And I'm like, I'm going ballistic in the press box. I'm like, there's no way. He took a step to the right of the center, from the center offensive lineman who snapped in the ball. He went from here to like here. There was no way he was outside of the outside of the pocket. Didn't review it, or made the call and said it was not reviewable. So just going on. And again, that was 2 plays before the first touchdown pass. Shenanigans. There was one that was called later that they congregated on. It was the exact same thing. The ball was snapped on the left hash. He's on the left hash, throwing the ball away the other way, but like he's right there and getting pressure. I'm like, that's grounding. Like, you got to call it. You know what I mean? So both of those. The other one that would have ended the game, well, that Miami would have then won in regulation if things had gone the way that they did. Cade Klubnik was tackled for a safety. And I know people are going to say forward progress and everything. Cade Klubnik was getting pressured by none other than Ruben Bain, because they couldn't block Ruben Bain at all. He, of his own volition, his own independent locomotor action, decided, oh crap, I'm going to run. A thing that people can do. Have you ever seen a run go for negative yardage, Mark? Ever in any game ever?
Few times.
So you can go backwards, is my point. Cade Klubnik, of his own volition, own independent locomotor motion, goes backwards to try to get away from the big bad man who's chasing me, mommy, and gets tackled in the end zone, both knees and the ball, for safety. It's clear as fucking day. It's unbelievable that things like this continue to happen. It is clear. There is no video evidence anywhere ever that exists on the face of this earth that play ended anywhere other than Cade Klubnik being tackled in the end zone on his own. And why do I say it's important? Of his own independent volition and locomotor action. Because Ruben Bain did not push him from outside the end zone into the end zone. Cade Klubnik went into the end zone by his own choice. This is like Dan Orlovsky for the Lions during the 0-16 season, by the way, stepping out of the back of the end zone for a safety against the Vikings. And all of a sudden, and it's happened a couple other times. Nobody pushed him. Jared Allen was just chasing him. He said, oh, God, I got to get away. That's what Cade Klubnik did. Again, independently of his own volition and locomotor action, he took his feet and set himself on a course through and into the end zone. There is no way you can miss that call. There's no way that you can spend 5.5 minutes reviewing it and then give Clemson the ball on the 1 yard line. What are you looking at? What? There's no possible way on God's green earth that was anything other than a safety. Now, and those 2 points would have put Miami up 19-17 going into this end stage thing. So we don't even go to overtime, right? So that's another week with the ACC coming out and having one of the worst calls. And again, I've said that these referees have collectively, if independently, been against Miami. There is no possible way that was anything other than safety. And on top of that, Nate Wiggins, on an incompletion into the end zone, screamed at a Miami receiver from past the goal line all the way back across the 5 yard line, almost to the 10, in his face, talking noise. Look, it happens during football games. You get emotional. Yeah, you're going to talk that noise. Hey, I'm locked down, all that stuff. If he's wearing a Miami jersey, that's 15 yards from personal foul and a first down. 100%. The only reason it wasn't is because he's wearing a 2 of a Clemson jersey and not a 2 or a 5 or a whatever of a Miami jersey. It's unacceptable that one team is adjudicated one way and a team in the same stadium is adjudicated another way. It is unacceptable. So all of those things, the missed or uncalled intentional grounding, the first one, not the second one they called, the safety, and then things like Nate Wiggins talking shit all the way for 20-something yards, the referee being right there and following, hey, cut that out. Hey, cut that out. Hey, guys, stop. Hey, guys, stop. Watch. The line judge or the whoever, I think is a back judge, is there and goes with him the entire way. And you can see the line judge, back judge say, yo, you should cut that out. Hey, maybe stop that. Hey, maybe stop that. You know a way to fucking make him stop it? Throw the goddamn flag. So, to answer Dr. TRS's question, yes, there were plenty of questionable calls. If you missed the rant, go watch the last 3 minutes again.
And if you watch a lot of football, and I believe I was watching football at the time, and I'm going to date myself when forward progress became a rule.
Mm-hmm.
To Cam's point, it is not that we are going to award forward progress for whatever you care to do, trying to juke people and make a big play, that you just automatically get it to whichever is your. It is for the times in which a defender will meet the ball carrier and force them back when the ball carrier is trying to move the football in a positive direction, but they are physically being forced and thrown backwards, that you give them the forward progress that they were attempting to gain, rather than them running around and trying to avoid a tackle. No.
And I mean, look, y'all know I'm from Detroit. Y'all know I grew up in the 80s. You know that means every single week I was watching Barry Sanders. You know, including a playoff game in Lambeau where he had -1 yards rushing, I want to say, in like 94 or something like that. Look, I've seen the best running back ever get negative yards in the game. Sometimes he would go backwards. It'd be 1 yard, 2 yards, maybe be -5, maybe be -7. Why? Because I'm dancing around with this line, that wasn't the greatest, but they're doing zone blocking because I can find any hole and I can get through. And then, bang, it's 65 yards. But there were those negative plays as well. Negative plays exist. They can happen. But to throw that out the window and then, again, adjudicate a play in a way that's just not in line with the sport that we're playing because of the name on the front of the jersey of the player, unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Okay, I can't argue with any of that. I was watching 3 games at the same time, and
hey, when I'm right, I'm right, and this time I'm right. But I appreciate that.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I can't say one way or the other that I have an opinion on it.
Heard.
ACC ain't no fun when the U is on a run.
I mean, yeah, the Atlantic Coast Conference or the North Carolina Conference, yeah, but hopefully we will continue to have the kind of performance where we earn victory regardless of the other shenanigans. But even with these shenanigans, Miami still went out on the field and earned a victory, which, as we all know, is not easy, even when the game should be over. So, hey, we're going to continue pushing, even this week against a moribund Virginia team that, hey, any given Saturday, because that 1-5 team looking like they're on the expressway to Quittsville goes into North Carolina and Chapel Hill and beats a team that, we haven't beaten, 3 times in the last decade. They go in there and they beat an undefeated number 10 North Carolina team. So
the first time that a 1-5 or worse team has defeated a top 10 team on the road since 1961.
Jeez. Yeah. But hey, credit to them. They went and did it. Again, absent the, million turnovers, I think, obviously Miami could have been more competitive in the game that they were. But hey, got to give credit for Virginia. Like, hey, by hook or by crook, by 1 point or a million, they found a way in a place that's been, and against a team that Miami has greatly struggled against, even like as evidenced by a fortnight ago, 2 weeks ago when we were up there. They followed through, and got the dub. So yeah, that Virginia team is coming down here to South Florida this weekend for homecoming at the U, and we will, they will see what is going on because I won't be there, actually.
You won't? Okay.
I got a big work event at the secret day job, and I will be there from about 4:30 p.m. until it's done at 1 or 2 in the morning. So even with the noon kickoff, that was going to be a bridge too far for your boy to make. So yeah, I will be otherwise occupied for the majority, but we will still have plenty of great coverage from State of the U all the way through. Making his debut, pinch hitting for me on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the intrepid Mike Schiffman, longtime State of the U reader, now one of our contributors. So this is the first Good, Bad, and Ugly that I have not written in like 9.5 years, guys. Even when I've missed other games, I was like, I'll watch it on Sunday morning and get it to you guys later. I said, you know what? I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to it. So yeah, we're gonna give Mike a shot. He's very excited for that. That is our tentpole piece of commentary and analysis. So he's very excited. Craig T. Smith on game recap, and Mike Schiffman's still going to do the 3 stars as well. So we got plenty of guys there. Like, hey, Kappa Kane will be there for your photography needs. We'll have plenty of pictures. Justin DeTavio will have the day after film review, and all the other things. Everything's going to be the same. So you're going to get everything. Just there's going to be a different byline on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly this week for the first time in a decade. So very excited to see what Mike does. Very excited to see what this team does. I would love to, for the first time in Mario Cristobal's tenure as Miami's head coach, I would love to talk next week and be bowl eligible. I would love that. But again, any given Saturday, a team can pop up, as evidenced by Virginia last week. So I know that Miami is a massive favorite. I know it opened at 18.5 or 19, just like it did. Well, Carolina was 22. So against Virginia, and going in, Carolina was like a 3-point favorite on Miami. So it's basically about the same thing when you, the transitive value kind of a thing. So we'll see. But yeah, Miami does need to step up. And I would love it when I'm watching the very first part of the game before I'm going to the secret day job event. I would love for Miami just to come out and punch them in the mouth. I would love that to happen again. I would love to see, a 10 or 17-0 first quarter. Before I'm, heading out the door to do what I got to do. I would love to see that. I think that the talent disparity is there for that. But again, Miami does need to execute. But hopefully, we're starting to see, and I know it took a couple of weeks, but hopefully starting to see positive performance feed itself as things go along the way. Oh, and also negatively, I do have to mention my guy, Mark, Nigel Kelly is injured and out for the season. So, yeah, unfortunate series of events for the defensive end there. Wish him a safe and swift recovery. I believe it's a leg injury. But, yeah, that was announced on Monday that the Mario Cristobal presser that he's out. So, yeah, I guess he started to take a little bit of that step forward, but the injuries got the better of him. But, hopefully we'll get some other guys back and be able just to put Virginia away the way that they should be put away and move on and move forward.
They had lost something like 9 consecutive Power 5 games before that outing in Chapel Hill. I'm actually going to go back after we get off the air here, and I want to check out the extended highlights. I saw none of that game. I saw when it went final, and it was, every network was going to flash the final and show the game-winning play that there was a Virginia pass interception, diving interception on the final drive. That's all I saw, but I'd like to go back and see how they pulled that off.